All right, we're going to continue our mixed number operations, and we are going to talk about multiplying fractions today. So multiplying fractions and mixed numbers, we use a rhyme. So we're just going to kind of say it together, and then we'll use it as we work these three questions. So to multiply fractions, you know you've got them. It's top times top and bottom times bottom. So really the biggest thing that you have to remember is top times top and bottom times bottom. And one thing I want to point out is this word says to multiply fractions. So it does not say to multiply mixed numbers. It says to multiply fractions specifically. So we will get to that when we get to B, but we need to make sure we have something that's a fraction and not a mixed number. So for example, 2/3 times 4/5. So to multiply fractions, you know you've got them. It's top times top, so 2 times 4, which is 8, and bottom times bottom, so 3 times 5, which is 15. So the biggest thing you have to do is you got to check, is it simplified? And let's see, 8 and 15, nothing that I can divide 8 and 15 both by. It's not improper. The numerator is smaller than the denominator, so our actual final answer for number 1 would be 8/15. Same situation as we get to B and C, so we're going to go over that as well. So again, our rhyme says to multiply fractions. You know you've got them. It's top times top and bottom times bottom. So here we have 2.5 times 1 3/4. Okay? We can't just multiply the fractions together. We actually have to change these fractions, or these mixed numbers, to improper fractions. Okay, so that's going to be the first step, is to change these guys to improper fractions. The way that we do that, we do 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 1, which is 5. So this is actually 5 halves. And then this one, 4 times 1, which is 4, plus 3, which is 7. So this guy is actually 7/4. Now, when it says to multiply fractions, I have 2 fractions. Yes, they're improper, but that won't matter until we get to the end, and then we need to make sure our answer is in most simple form. So to multiply fractions, you know you've got them. It's top times top, which is 35, and bottom times bottom, which is 8. So at this point, we do have an improper fraction, and we don't want to leave that as our final answer. So we want to make sure we change that into a mixed number. And the way that we do that is we divide. So 35 divided by 8, and 8 goes into 35 4 times, and that gives me 32, and I have 3 left over. So 4 whole times with 3/8 left over. Okay, so again, we just did top times top, bottom times bottom. We got an answer, but then we actually had to make it into a mixed number because we never want to leave our answer as an improper fraction. Okay, all right, last example, same type of situation, but if you'll notice on C, there's just a whole number there. It says 4 times 1 2/3. So we got 4 times 1 2/3. Again, neither one of these are actually just fractions. This guy is a whole number, this guy is a mixed number, so we know we're going to have to do something to it specifically. We know that we're going to have to do change this mixed number to an improper fraction, so we can do that first. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5, so I have 5/3. And then I need to figure out how to make this whole number into a fraction. So the way that I can do that is 4. And to make a whole number into a fraction, you just put a 1 underneath it. I like to kind of say, like Beyonce says, if you like it, then you got to put a 1 on it. Okay? So the way that we then solve it is the same that we've been doing. So we say our rhyme to multiply fractions, you know you've got them. It's top times top, which is 20, and bottom times bottom, which is 3. Again, we do have an improper fraction. So 20 divided by 3. 3 goes into 20 6 times. And I get 18, and there's 2 left over out of 3. So 6 2/3 would be our correct answer. All right?